Overprotective. When I was in middle school, I didn't have a lot of friends. It didn't make me sad, though lonely, but not sad. I would walk home every day reading a book, and I was content. My walk home was short. I had already been doing it for 2 years at that point, and I was a teen, a whole 13-year-old, and obviously I thought I knew everything. I was passing by the park one day, engrossed in a story about a magical world behind a wardrobe, and I wanted to stop to finish the section I was reading. I crossed into the park and stepped around it and plopped down on a bench.
Oh, look, Abby's finally made a friend, and they're travel-sized.
A girl's voice squealed. I looked up, and Darcy, the most popular girl in my school, was standing with her group of friends laughing at me.
How's the book, Flabby? Maybe you'll find a different book to be your boyfriend.
She continued, earning a high five from the girl on her right. Her eyes burned as I felt stares on me, but I just put the book up to cover my face and tried my best to block them out. After about 5 minutes of me ignoring them, I left. As I read pages and pages, the sounds and squeals from the playground slowly went away. I hardly noticed, though. I was actually glad for the quiet.
Are you lost?
A voice asked me. I dropped my book, startled, before looking up to see a boy standing before me. I had never seen him before, but he seemed a little older than me. I was sure we probably went to the same school, though. Maybe he was on the football team and I didn't go to those games. I was still staring as he adjusted his baseball bag to his other shoulder.
No, I'm not lost. Just taking a break. I live over there,
I said, gesturing in the general direction of my house. The boy had followed my hand and nodded.
It's pretty dark. You should go home,
he said softly. I looked at the sky and gasped. The streetlights were on. How long had I been lost in this story?
What time is it?
I asked.
It's almost 8.
The boy responded.
Oh, no, you're right. I'm gonna be in trouble,
I say quickly, standing up and putting my things away.
Do you want me to walk you?
The boy had asked.
Oh, no, it's just my brother home right now. He goes to the high school. He'll be upset if he sees me with a boy, even if he's just a friend. Thank you, though. What's your name?
I asked, standing up to meet his gaze.
Ethan.
He replied.
It's nice to meet you, Ethan. I'm Abby. I'll see ya,
I said, turning around to dash to my house.
Your brother seems annoying.
Ethan called after me.
Not annoying, just overprotective.
I called back. As I was walking across the gate to the sidewalk, I saw Darcy across the field. She was sitting on a bench, hunched over a cell phone. She looked like she had changed out of her clothes she wore that day, and was wearing something my brother's girlfriend would likely wear. A light blue strapless dress that looked super short. I debated calling her out, asking if she needed something, but I thought better of it and continued home. Lucky for me, that night I made it home before my brother got home from being with his friends, but not by much. The next morning my mom was on the phone with our neighbor.
Oh, how awful, Susan. It's just isn't safe anywhere.
She had sighed into the phone. I furrowed my brows together and watched her as I shoved Lucky Charms into my mouth.
Okay, yes, keep me posted,
my mom said, and then hung up.
Mom?
I asked. She stared at the phone on the wall for a moment before she crossed to me and sat at the kitchen table. She reached out and held my hand.
Sweetie, do you know, Darcy in your grade?
She asked gently. I nodded.
Yeah, she's popular, so we aren't friends, but I know her. Why?
I responded.
Darcy didn't come home last night. Her parents are calling around. They said she always stops at the park before coming home. Did you see her there yesterday when you passed it?
My mother pressed. I mumbled. How could I admit that I did see Darcy there and not get in trouble for being there so late? Should I tell her about Ethan and be in trouble for 2 things? I really didn't want my parents to be mad at me.
I saw her there after school. I stopped there and read for a bit. When I left, she was still there.
I said, playing with the drawstrings on my jacket. My mom watched me, nodding.
Yeah, and, what time was that?
She asked.
School's out at 3:30, so, like, I think 4?
I mumbled. It wasn't a total lie. My mom nodded again.
Okay, thank you, baby. We were just trying to make a timeline of where she was. If you hear anything at school, make sure to tell your teacher or me.
She said seriously before kissing me on the head and walking into the living room. I exhaled a long breath. Right before I left, my mom came back in with a new cell phone for me.
Wow, is this mine?
I said excitedly.
Yes, but only for emergencies. You have my number, Dad's, and your brother's. There's also a tracker on it. I've been saving it for your birthday, but you're getting it now,
she told me, shifting her eyes away. I still hugged her and said thank you, and she hugged me back tightly. I hope Darcy is at school. Darcy wasn't there. There was an assembly held to talk about her and to ask that if anyone knew anything to please come forward. My heart was beating so fast I was convinced someone else could hear it. After school, I took the same walk through the park.
Abby, hey!
A voice called behind me. I turned and I saw Ethan jogging up to meet me.
Oh, Ethan. Hey.
I said shyly. The only boy I had ever talked to were related to me. I wasn't sure how to do this.
Hey, so, how much trouble did you get in?
He asked.
Oh, none, actually. My brother was at a play at the high school, so I made it home before he did.
I explained.
Oh, wow. Lucky. I get in trouble if I'm even 5 minutes late.
He said, laughing.
Oh, right. Well, did you get in trouble last night for being in the park so late?
I asked. He shook his head.
No, I was at baseball practice and was walking home when I saw you. They knew about that.
He told me.
Did you see a girl in the park last night?
I asked him. He looked at me, confused.
I saw you, if that's what you mean.
He responded.
No, besides me. There's a girl in our class who went missing, and I think I saw her here last night. And now she's gone, I explained.
Ethan nodded and looked around the park.
I don't remember seeing anyone else, but I'll ask around. What's her name?
He asked.
Darcy. She has blonde hair, and I think she was wearing blue last night.
I told him.
Yeah. I'll ask around.
He said, smiling at me. I was squinting at him. I didn't think he went to my school.
What school do you go to?
I asked.
I go to the high school. I'm a freshman this year. Are you in middle school?
He asked. I nodded.
7th grade.
I told him. He nodded and smiled.
Do you want me to walk you home?
He asked.
Sure.
I responded. After Darcy went missing, I was anxious about walking home alone. We walked the short distance to my house, laughing and talking. Now that I feel more relaxed, I noticed just how cute Ethan was. He was cute in a grown-up way, in a way where I felt very self-conscious around him. He seemed to like me, though, even though I was weird, and he hugged me before I disappeared into my house. He smelled like Axe body spray in Irish Spring.
I'm never washing this shirt again,
I whispered. A week went by, and no news about Darcy. Ethan walked me home every day. He said I needed someone looking out for me, and I felt like a princess with her knight accompanying her. He would walk me to the house next door, reminded me about my brother not seeing us, and waited for me to make it into my house. He even gave me his phone number, and would text me good night every night. My brother, Derek, had noticed my shift in mood.
What are you smiling about, dork?
He asked, with chips in his mouth. Ethan had just sent what I think was a flirty message.
2 years is nothing. When I'm 30, you'll be 28, and by that point, we might even be married. I would build you your own library in your own house.
Oh my God.
Nothing,
I said, smiling. Derek shrugged and returned to his own phone.
Do you know an Ethan?
I asked him.
Ethan what?
He responded, not looking up from his phone.
Oh, I don't know his last name, but he's on the baseball team. He's tall. He has light brown hair and freckles.
I gushed. Derek shook his head, still engulfed in his social media.
There is not an Ethan on baseball,
he responded.
But yes, he is. He has a baseball bag.
I argued. Derek's head shot up.
Have you talked to this guy? Why are you talking to a guy in high school anyways?
He demanded. I don't know.
I'm not. I saw him at the park and talked to him for a second. He just seemed nice, that's all.
I said quickly. Derek looked at me for a long moment and shook his head.
Don't talk to high school guys, Abs. They only want one thing, okay?
He asked. I nodded. He turned back to his phone and I got up to go to my room. My heart was thumping. I was too close. As I crossed behind Derek, I saw he was searching for an Ethan on social media. I continued texting Ethan in my room. I was just starting to get ready for bed when his name popped up on a call.
Oh my god.
I whisper shouted. I took a few deep breaths before answering the call.
Hello?
I asked.
Hey, gorgeous.
His smooth voice responded. I could feel myself physically swooning. I laughed like a maniac and then took another deep breath.
What are you up to?
I asked.
I'm just finishing up at practice, and I was thinking maybe we should meet up.
He responded.
Like, right now?
I asked. He laughed softly.
Yeah, we never get time really alone when I walk you home.
He explained. My heart flipped.
Well, do we need to be alone?
I asked, laughing awkwardly.
Well, if I want to feel like I can kiss you without your brother seeing.
He chuckled. Double flip.
Oh, well, I don't know about tonight. Derek is downstairs and he'll see me if I leave.
I stammered.
Go out your window.
Ethan offered. I looked at my window with the unicorn curtains hung over them.
I don't know.
I mumbled.
Well, how can you be my girlfriend if you won't come and see me?
Ethan asked. Girlfriend. Triple flip.
Okay, I'll come, but just for a little bit,
I said.
I'll meet you in the park. See you soon.
Ethan said cheerfully. When we hung up, I jumped in a circle in my room. He called me his girlfriend. And he wanted to give me my first kiss? I couldn't believe I wasn't just floating off the ground. I quickly changed into a cuter outfit and glossed up with a cherry lip smacker. Luckily, my window was very easy to get out of. Derek wouldn't check on me, but just in case he did, I turned off the lights and shoved the pillows in my bed. I didn't realize how fast I was walking, and I made it to the park in record time. Ethan was waiting for me on a bench. He was texting on his phone when I walked up, but smiled when he saw me and slid his phone back into his pocket.
Hey,
he said softly, wrapping me in a hug. I giggled and hugged him back. It really was a perfect night. The moon was large in the sky, and the stars were twinkling like they were encouraging us.
should we sit?
I asked, gesturing to the bench. Ethan shook his head.
Nah, come on, I got a better idea.
He said, taking my hand and leading me across the grass to a small parking lot.
Where are we going?
I asked.
I have my mom's car tonight. I thought we could drive around. Maybe we'll get food. Maybe something else.
He said, winking at me.
Ethan, I don't know, you're only 15. You don't even have a license.
I protested. He waved me off.
I drive all the time. I promise I'm great.
He said, just as we made it to the dark red sedan. He opened my door for me.
Milady?
He said, bowing. I looked at the back seat through the window. It was empty, except for a blue shirt lying on the seat.
Where's your baseball stuff?
I asked. He blinked slowly and looked at me.
What?
He asked.
Your Your baseball stuff, why wouldn't you have it with you if you just left practice?
I asked, tilting my head.
I must have left it there in the locker room. Shit, yeah, my bad.
He responded. I was quiet for a few moments, and I could feel this weird feeling creeping up my stomach.
I really shouldn't. Can we just walk around the park?
I asked.
Don't be silly. We won't be gone long. Just get in the car, he said,
smiling his familiar smile. I mumbled, looking over my shoulder at my neighbor.
I don't think so, Ethan. I'm gonna go home. Maybe another time?
I offered. I didn't want him to be mad at me, but I didn't want to be gone so long that Derek noticed.
Abby, Ethan said, laughing softly.
I stay still. Get in the car, please, he said, but it was different this time. He sounded angry. Just then, my phone had begun to ring. When I pulled it out, Derek's name flashed on the screen.
Crap,
I whispered.
It's Derek. I think he knows I left. I really have to go.
No,
I mean, just get in the car. I'll drive you home,
Ethan said, quickly like he was panicking. My phone rings again.
Why do you want me to get in your car so badly?
I asked.
Just please, get in,
Ethan demanded.
No!
I yelled.
Damn it, Darcy, get in the car!
Ethan yelled back. I froze. Once Ethan realized what he said, his eyes widened.
Oh my God.
The rest of Ethan's clever mask shattered, and he lunged for me. I was able to dive out of the way, landing in the grass before pushing myself up to my feet as I began to run. I could feel Ethan right behind me, yelling, and his hands just narrowly missing me. I saw red and blue flashing lights towards the park.
Help!
I yelled, waving my arms.
Shut up!
Ethan screamed. I crossed the grassy field as police cars pulled around the park.
Help me, please!
I screamed.
No!
Ethan yelled. The police were still far, but I could see them start to get out of their cars. I ran as fast as I could, sobbing and trying to go even faster.
Hey!
A voice bellowed to the side of us. Ethan and I both turned our heads as a dark figure tackled Ethan to the ground at full speed. It was so dark. I saw two figures rolling around in the grass, not stopping until a loud crack sound, and Ethan screamed in pain. The police were around us then, as the dark figure stood and turned to me.
Derek!
I sobbed. He rushed to me and enveloped me in a hug. I cried into him while the police handcuffed Ethan, yanking him to his feet as he screamed and complained about his apparently broken wrist.
How did you know where I was?
I asked. Derek took out his phone and pointed to the tracking app my mom had installed on our phones. The one time I've ever been grateful for my mom's overprotectiveness.
You were right,
I said, putting my face in my hands.
high school boys are awful.
Derek was quiet, so I uncovered my eyes and peered at him. He opened his mouth to speak, but closed it immediately as a police officer approached us.
Hey, kids, you okay? Both of you?
She asked. Derek and I nodded.
Okay, great. Your parents are on the way. We wanted to ask you some questions. Abby, is it?
She asked. I nodded.
I didn't know he was mean. I met him recently and I like the idea of dating a high schooler. I know it sounds stupid.
I mumble. The officer smiles at me sympathetically.
Sweetie, Ethan isn't in high school.
She told me.
What?
I asked, as I heard Derek take a deep breath behind me.
Ethan isn't even his real name. And he's 25. I know he looks young, but...
She looked over her shoulder to where Ethan was being hauled into a cop car.
And why would he say he was?
I asked, genuinely confused.
We think he was talking to girls your age. We're going to check him out, see where he lives, but You have a classmate named Darcy go missing recently, correct?
She continued. I nodded.
Did he say anything about her?
She asked.
He called me her name on accident.
I replied. The officer nodded again and radioed something to someone else while stepping away. Just then, my parents came running across the street. My mom was crying, and my dad looked like he was going to tackle someone. Derek happily informed him that he already took care of that part. We got cleared to go home, and as we crossed the street, I met eyes with Ethan as he pulled away in the police car. I looked away quickly as Derek put up his arm around me and flipped the car off. I wasn't in trouble, but Patrick sure was. He retained his innocence up until trial, but the bodies the police found in his backyard turned his arguments into silence. They speculated he had taken over a dozen girls, but only 5 were discovered. Unfortunately, Darcy was never found.